Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Day 5, Finding Your Authentic Self, a presentation by Malcolm Nair. Tonight is a very special night because we are wrapping up a full week of presentations by Malcolm. And we have some specials that we're going to be talking about later on today, so I encourage all of you to hang on. Now, before we get started, I got a few suggestions to help make sure you have the best experience possible from tonight's webinar. Listen with an open mind. Limit the distractions around you so that you can hear the details that will be discussed tonight. Grab your journal or your notebook and something to write with so you can write down the key parts and points that Malcolm speaks about. And if you're going to join us tonight in a conversation, when you come off the conversation, please mute your microphone so that your background noises don't become a disturbance to the rest of the viewers tonight. Now, tonight, we're also doing something super special. We're streaming this live on Facebook to an international audience. So it's my pleasure to introduce to you Malcolm Nair.
Hello. Thank you guys for joining again today, and thank you to my YouTube family, thank you to my Facebook family, my Instagram family, and LinkedIn family. This has been posted live, so it's live streaming on all platforms. I really appreciate your guys' attendance and paying attention, taking note. I am noticing a lot of views coming up on YouTube, so it seems like everyone who wants to pay attention is doing their diligence to pay attention. What I would like to do is now tie everything together, what we've been doing. We understand about waking up in the morning. We understand about our nighttime ritual. We understand our self-image, our fraudulence, our acceptance, our awareness. We dove deep into all of this. We did back and forth Q&As with Kyle and Rose. We did the mirror talk exercise. Now, I'm gonna go through this quick. We're gonna go back and forth, but like I said, I'm really excited and I'm really blessed that you guys are taking away some good information. Please feel free to watch the replays. I've watched them over again because I find that they're beautiful. I find that the testimonials on there are beautiful. Can't say enough about this.
Well, Malcolm, we've got some questions before you zoom ahead, but it's okay where you're at.
Okay.
So this week with these discussions and things that we were having, I think last night there were some eureka moments. There were some realizations.
Right.
You know, this week you've been helping us by showing us the techniques for us to find our authentic self. And you stressed last night the importance of finding out who we are and connecting to our inner source. Because as you put it, when you died and you went to the other side, you realized that, you know, your should have, would have, could have moments. I'd like you to expand a little bit on more on that, if you don't mind, because what I was realizing is if we don't become authentic, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but if I don't become authentic, then I'm not going to be able to release different things in my life that are causing me pains. And I'm going to take those with me to the other side. And you noticed that when you went to the other side, which is why when you decided to come back to life, to the physical life, you developed these programs. And you've been developing these programs for years and helping countless numbers of people with these programs. Can you tell me a little bit more? Can you just delve into the importance of why someone would want to find their authentic self and why someone would want to clean their soul? That's my own word there.
That's a very important question, very important thing to bring up. When I was living a fraudulent life, my entire life I was living a victim mindset, blaming others for my mistakes, blaming others for their mistakes, justifying, crucifying, condemning, being negative and toxic. All of the things that we come across in our life. Whatever it is for individual people, what they're going through in life, breakups, cheating, divorce, lying, abuse, all of this was how I was living my life. So that being said, when I died, my life flashed before my eyes. It played like a video recorder, and I had multiple perspectives. I had the perspective of my entire life flashing before my eyes, and then another awareness, or I had angels all guiding me and telling me, look at that, focus on this. So my awareness already knew, like, wow, these are the things I shoulda, I coulda, I would have done. I could have addressed this. I could have made this better. Why am I hanging out with these friends? They don't care about me. Why am I using and relying on people? All of the mistakes, all of the things that I've never done my entire life will come before you when you die. And I had a simple choice to make. I decided what I want to do. And I wanted to change, but it was a sacrifice. It was, are you sure? I had a question come to me. Are you sure? I was forgiven when I was up there, full of love, full of compassion, full of peace and harmony and joy. And I had to decide, what do I want to do? Do I want to get welcomed home and just be back to source? or what? What do you want to do, son? And I just stood there because I was 23 years old, and I realized in that moment the sacrifice and the decisions I was making and not making. And I said to my higher self, or to source, to God, I said, I want to change. I'm going to change. Are you sure? And I had to decide. I had to make that sacrifice with myself. I had to make an oath to God and an oath to myself. So then I went back into the light, back into the tunnel. And I went back the same way I came. Through dimensions, through this portal, through time and space, till I entered back into the physical world, onto this realm that we live in, we call Earth. Saw the hospital, saw the sky and everything, came back into my body. And it wasn't like a total recall where it's like, I'm so connected, I'm super changed, I got off life support, I'm good now, I'm healed. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, Mom, I'm sorry, Dad, I'm sorry, everybody, I'm living in peace and harmony. No, it was not like that. I was still restrained and tied and chained in my mind, in my brain, my body, all the physical restraints, all the blood clots, all the damage, the nerve damage, the bleeding in my brain, the collapsed lung, my leg. And I woke up in pain and suffering and blame and resentment. So I had to face it. And every time I made a mistake, the good thing was I had that awareness. So I was sitting in that awareness, and those were my reminders of what I promised. And it would be a flash before my eyes, like a slap on my own face. And I would be like, wow, okay. So I would get that mental clarity, and I would realize I got to change this, I got to change that. Because when I was going through life and going through the cycles, these cycles kept repeating. Why am I and my ex with my son, why am I going through this same repeated cycle? Why are we always going through the same cycle? You know, forgiveness, and then arguments, and then taking the kid away, and then going to court. And then it would happen again until I changed things. And then, you know, why am I always getting still in arguments or justifications or fights or something, or getting road rage? Then I would get these whispers, and I would sit in it and be like, whoa. And I just kept realizing, so that connection was there, but I still was making mistakes, and these repeated cycles kept happening, just like in life, just like we deal with in life. So I made it upon myself through countless years and years of going through the failures, the depression, the wanting to commit suicide, the anxiety, the insomnia, not knowing about personal growth and development, just, and then fixing things and changing things and going through the process to see how my life was unfolding. So I went through that to understand now how I put it together. So now I went deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into my practices, into my rituals, into my meditations, into my release work, into my techniques, into my mirror talk, into my inner child, into my manifestation visualization techniques, into my quantum leaping theories, into law of attraction, you know, all the 12 laws. I just started to figure it all out and put it together. And then I started to do things better and faster and implement it. I'm like, okay, this is working. Okay, now allow life to unfold. Let the next bad thing or mistake happen, or the cycle to come back. And it would come, and then I would learn how to maneuver life and allow the roller coaster to be there, but I was just flowing in life. So I gave you an indirect answer, but I think it touches on your question. I hope. If it doesn't, challenge
Yeah,
me.
yeah, it does, but I'm going to push you just a little bit more.
Sure.
So, you've been helping us to realize that, we're not a physical being. We're a soul inside of a physical body. And you learned that because you died. The other thing that you learned, it seems to me, is that we're in these physical lives to learn things and deal with things as we go through life. And the life that we're living now, is how important, I guess, here's what I want to know from you. How important is this particular life if we can go back and forth between one side and the other? How important is life itself, an individual life? Does that make sense?
Well, let's keep going back and forth. Are you saying we could go back and forth? Well, we can't go back and forth. Once we're gone, we're gone. Some people are lucky enough, not even, I don't want to call it luck. Some people have a purpose to fulfill, and they know it, and make a choice to come into their dying body or their vegetable body, and heal and go through these awakenings. That's why you hear thousands and millions of testimonials of people curing their tumors and cancers, or they were so gone, their body was like just mutilated. You know, I felt I was crushed by bricks when I woke up off life support. I couldn't move my fingertips. I felt crushed alive. And I still chose to come back. some bodies aren't functionable enough to come back to full working, day-to-day life. But I I just made this shift in me, this conscious shift to take it upon myself to recreate my reality. And it started from waking up off life support, but I still had to deal with the traumas and the pain and the suffering, the anger and the frustration. But the quantum leaping started right away. My bones were broken. My lung collapsed. I had bleeding, hemorrhaging in my brain. They had to drill a hole to drain it out. How did I walk out of the hospital in 6 days? Hitting a house, my car crushed, ejected out of the vehicle. I hit the house, my whole body came out of the car. How did that happen? It's the power of what we have inside of us and the connection we have, the belief that I've been trying to tell everybody. But Kyle, please reiterate, we can't go back and forth. If you're saying people think they can get this getaway free card and just go and they'll be healed and everything will be better, okay, that's on you. You're going to live with that tainted spirit. You're going to have that tainted spirit. I didn't want to have that tainted spirit. I knew if I'm there, I'll be shamed. I'm going to be among what? Buddhas and Krishnas or whoever the angels are, whoever's up there. But I'm still not, I didn't fulfill my journey. So I took it upon myself in that moment in time to have that clarity, to be so aware and not give up on that body, not give up on my life, not give up on what I could have, what I should have, or what I would have done. And that's the message that I think I've been repeating for years.
It's the message that you've been sharing with us for this week. You know, it was really yesterday I had a, epiphany, if you will, of some of the things that you've been saying to me for weeks now. And the idea that my soul would end up being stained by any transgressions that I would have in this life really made me think, wow, this life is way more important than I ever thought it was. And I was trying to find out from you, I understand what you're saying. You wanted to come back because you didn't want to have your shoulda, wouldas, and couldas. And I know that it was that drive that helped you develop the programs and create guided intelligence. So I guess what I'm trying to figure out is if somebody elects not to straighten out their life and help themselves be stronger, they keep it in and they pass with all of that in. You have any kind of idea at all as to what type of, what does that mean? I mean, did you experience that all at all? I'm after the, I guess what I'm trying to say or trying to find out is motivation, right? If I've got deep, dark secrets that I'm afraid to speak about, if I don't speak about them and take care of them, what's that going to cost me? Is that going to really hurt me and really hurt my soul?
I get where you want this to go. Before I take that direction, I want to say that I didn't create guided intelligence. It created me. It came to me. I sat in my awareness. I sat in my compelling divining dwelling on the opposite, not the negative, on what can I do? How may I serve you, God? How may I serve? And I was just in this for years before it came to me. Then I kept getting deeper into my practices, and I got this whisper that eventually became loud to me, where I can talk to it. And it said guided intelligence. So I did not, I created things around the name, around the vision, around the message that was sent to me from God. I didn't think of a name. I didn't think, okay, now I'm going to think of branding. Now I'm going to think of the names or logos. And No, it didn't have. It came to me. You know how people create stuff in their sleep? They wake up and they invent things. That came to me, and that's why I created this program, so it can happen to you, and it will. These same things that you hear stories of is why I'm doing what I'm doing. So that being said, how important is it to fix things and change things before you die? Is that what you want me to answer?
Yeah.
It's very important, because if you think you can get away with life, and there's a lot of people who do, well, you know what? They probably living under a different belief system, and they probably are living low vibe energy, and they know that, and that's what propels them. But for people who are consciously aware, for people who want to change their life, for people who have this feeling, this innate, like something's in them, like reaching for something, they're lost, they're stuck, they know they want to change, right? For those people, you know now that if you don't fix something, you're repeating old patterns and cycles that you're going to have to relive and relive and relive. Like you're here, reliving to learn, reliving to grow, to change. So, what do you think's going to happen? When you die, you go in, you get this realization, what's next? Haven't you heard of, spirits wandering and being where they're not supposed to be because they're trapped, they're stuck, they're tainted, they're not released, they're still trying to fight between, they're challenging themselves, they don't know what to do. I don't know, I mean, I don't dive deep, I don't want to go there. My mind wants to give an analogy about angels, and you know where I'm going with that. But you know, do you catch my drift?
I do. I do. One of the things that I missed um, early on, you were talking about the fact of having to surrender, and you were talking about, if you're not comfortable with being uncomfortable and you don't dedicate yourself and surrender, you're just going to continue to live a fraudulent life. And right away, my little ego is going to go sit there and protect itself and tell, you know, my brain will just go away and give me all these different reasons of, well, you don't have to do this, you don't have to do that, you can hide, you can protect, you don't have to, whatever. And I realized that was you know, a, a very astonishing point in time for me was kind of like yesterday, which it was like, you know what? If I don't completely surrender, if I don't really totally become uncomfortable with the life that I've lived so far, that is going to continue to go with me. And I don't want to go through the things that I've gone through that has caused the haunts. I use the word the haunts in my life. I don't want those to repeat. So I have to thank you again for really sharing with me the reason why it's so important. Just saying finding your authentic self isn't enough. We have to do something about it. We have to take care of our souls because that is what we're actually here for. So now I want you to share with us, what's next? Now that I realize that I'm a soul inside of a physical body having a physical experience, what do I do now? What are the things, what are the tools that I can get that can help me clean myself up before it's too late?
So now that we know that we are connecting to our higher source, we are not just minds and bodies and thoughts, that we are conscious awareness. We're connected to source, and utilizing and leveraging me and all the tips and tricks and techniques from day one, day two, day three, and the PDFs and downloads and audios and the channel to really dive deep to understand that this needs to be recreated into a habitual ritual, a cycle, a new cycle, a new pattern. Everything goes together. You don't skip one thing, you keep adding all of the things in the program. Okay? Because it's designed to do what I've been able to do, and for not just for myself, for people around me and clients. And so what I have put together that comes next after finding your authentic self. So, finding your authentic self was built to give you the fundamentals, the baby steps, and the conscious breath to implement into your daily life. What do we do first before anything else? Before meditating, before praying, before doing rituals, before release work and techniques, and oh, I got to do this meditation, I got to do a inner child, I got to research what's an inner child, okay, I got to go to that workshop, I got before doing jumping ahead, you got to go backwards to move forward. So I created that strategically, and the next steps are also very important. It is actually the rest of what you need. So, the 7 truths to enlightenment is basically finding your authentic self tied in with, okay, what's next after mirror talk? What's next after going to sleep with the direction and intention, doing all those programs and paradigms and those conscious thoughts and awareness directing the mind, commanding and demanding and dwelling properly, and then waking up conscious aware, giving gratitude, learning how to raise your vibration, how to appreciate things and the material things, how to start attracting. So just the baby steps. I didn't dive deep into the law of attraction. I just touched on it. So then when I teach you how to attract, when I teach you how to manifest and quantum jump, then it will be easier because you don't have those patterns and cycles and behaviors in the way. You've been doing the work. So when I teach you what to do, then you can manifest. Then you can attract what you want, what you truly desire. And I've done it time and time again. You can hear about it. I don't want to talk about it too much because that's not the ego. I'm not boasting. It's reality. You can be a powerful manifester. So what's next? Releasing blockages. And with releasing blockages, it's releasing. How do you release your emotions, your thoughts, and your ego from the awareness, from the spiritual being? Why do we tie it together and then we get frustrated and stressed out and depressed, and we carry our emotions to bed and we wake up with our emotions? You know, people have to understand that meditating for 20 years is not going to change your life. If you're still going through the patterns and the cycles and you think a meditation practice is going to cure you, it's not. Because the lifestyle you have and carry and the patterns you create and the habitual rituals you maintain in your life is what's going to carry and dictate your life. And the meditation practice will then work. So there's no room for meditation if you haven't done this work first. And I learned that and I understood that. And a lot of people out in the world who are doing this, they understand that as well. You know. So, how do you release your emotional mind from the spiritual awareness? How do you do that? And that's what I'm going to teach you guys next. That's
So,
what's next.
so before you go on, I have a couple of things I want to ask about releasing blockages, and I'm just going to use myself, right? Things that I go through. I've got a lot of years of entrainment in me. I've got a lot of triggers that are in me, and I can see something, and I'll react mentally, egally, without even, I mean, with no thought whatsoever. It's just like road rage. Somebody cuts you off, you just go nuts. I can see somebody on the side of the road and I can feel all kinds of interesting ways. And all of that you've been telling me is not good. So is releasing blockages, is that going to help in my day to day, minute by minute, hour by hour regimen?
Absolutely. It's connecting to your awareness and differentiating your awareness in the moment of your mind and body. So your mind and body, it goes through these feelings and emotions and thoughts, right? You create this emotion right away, and then we use our ego mind to depict, make decisions and react. We act and we react. But I will teach you, like I've done already. I love the question, but the awareness is different. It's something else. And how do you separate it? It's by going in the mind, teaching you the techniques and releasing yourself from those patterns. And this is a meditation, guided intelligence meditation practice that I've created. I've taken the years of study, the years of practice, the years of researching and implementing, making mistakes, retrying different techniques, that I made it into a quantum jump. So these things that I do for people are like faster and aha moments. And now, you know, you tell me, Kyle.
Yeah, it's with what little, with what little I know, it's, yeah, it's everything that you're saying and even a lot more. And I know that I've got a lot more to learn and I'm looking forward to it. So what else do you have besides releasing blockages? What else do we should we be doing?
Now, people have heard this word being slanged for forever throughout the years. There's many people who do it, many techniques and many styles, and all are beautiful, all are amazing, and all are good practices. So I've created this guided inner child breakthrough exercise. And the way it's designed is, I'm not gonna share exactly what I do because that's in the program. And people who have experienced this know the effects and know what happens when they go through this. I've done it time and time again, and it's so important. I created this because I had childhood trauma. I had trauma from teens, just scarcity mindset from being homeless and broke and always looking at my bank account and my credit cards and things like that. And just the emotional part of a child being in a house, visually seeing toxicity, witnessing, a butcher knife being chopped in a family member's head, witnessing that. Like, how do you release that as a child? You don't. You carry it as a child. Abuse, neglect, being home alone. Some people had to take care of their baby sisters and brothers, like I had to when I was 5 years old, watching my 2.5-year-old sister, babysitting for 12 to 14 hours, hearing gunshots. How do you release that? How do you live life without blaming and living a victim mindset and growing up crucifying your mother and judging her and blaming her. No, I don't do that. I don't feel that way about her because I've done all of these exercises properly. So I don't live a victim mindset. So I don't live a judgmental mindset. So I'm not toxic and negative and blaming the world. So it's all part of going back into doing this exercise, and it's the experience you have to go through, and I'm going to guide you through it, and I'm going to put your minds into it, into the areas and sections and scenarios, and I'm not going to tell you what else I do, but that's what I'm going to do for you guys.
So you're telling me now that what's coming up next week, I'm going to be able to address issues that came from my early childhood. I'm going to be able to address issues that have happened in my past as an adult and the issues that I'm currently going through right now.
Yes, have to do with things that your brain, your paradigm, the neurons, the signals, the cells, the DNA that's embedded in you, why it's not shifting, why you're not creating new cells, why you're not getting rid of the old and bringing in new, and why these old cycles keep repeating itself is because in fact we have tied emotions, mixed feelings. We have pain and suffering inside, and we're trying to move forward. We're trying to move forward. Oh, that's past. I haven't gone there. I don't want to go there. The emotion's there, but I don't want to think about it. I don't want to talk about it. I'm over it. Let me continue making money. But there's something in you. There's triggers in you. There's blocks in you. There's chips on your shoulder. Where do those stem from? Where do those come from? When someone pokes a button. All of what I just said, I've gone through. It happened to me my whole life. And I wanted to learn and figure out how do I fix it the right way. So I created this. And I do this. And I did it on myself, for myself. And I've done it for people. And like I said, it's part of the release work. It's part of everything you need to do. You can't just jump ahead and skip a spot, do this, do that. But it is revealing, it is a breakthrough, and it will release and teach you so much. But then you still need to understand. I have it up, it's free, it's live, everything else in the boot camp. You can't do this and then not go back and do day 1, day 2, day 3. You have to understand the core value, the fundamentals. You can't just do this and think, oh, I'm good, I'm healed, thank you, I think that's enough. Oh shoot, something happened, my life's upside down. Oh, what's wrong? And I've encountered this so many times with people, and they go through the emotions and the stress of life again. I thought things were great, you were successful, everything was amazing, and no judgment. But it's because, and I came to realize, I understand, it's because no one's repeating the cycles, the new patterns, the new paradigms, the new realities.
So, what happens then if I'm scared to death? So, for an example, maybe I have an issue that I have to deal with somebody who I really care about, a family member or what have you, and I don't want to say what I should probably, I don't even know what it is I want to say, but I don't want to say it because I don't want to hurt that person. Are the
It's
techniques designed to where I can get through that without hurting that person?
absolutely, and that's what I went through. I went through that feeling and I went through that realization and that reality. And I designed this so I can be healed in the midst of people being damaged and not healed. And that's how I designed it. So yes, absolutely. I made it like that strategically so you can heal yourself around the turmoil, around the pain, around the suffering, but be healed, not have to dive deep into their emotions or live in toxicity and you can't function, you can't work, you can't operate, you're stressed, they're vibing on you, the energy is bad. I can, that's what this is all about, how to operate through life in times of that, so then you can live in times of peace and joy only, you know. Yeah, there's
So,
going to be downfalls in life, but that's why I teach you guys how to maneuver.
So do these, okay, I'll just give you a scenario. So, I've got a family member and I've done something and it's a trigger inside me. It's a haunt. Okay. And, you know, do I have to, I mean, how much involvement is going to be between me and that person?
Well,
I
let me
mean, my,
ask you, how much involvement are you with that person right now?
oh, I see where you're heading with that one. Okay. It depends on the situation that I have to heal.
If you don't, if that person is not in your life, but it's a trigger and you haven't healed it, this method and this technique will heal it. And if you're in that person's life, it can still help you, but I need to know the fine line. Like, is what is the circumstance, right? So that's why some coaching, some one-on-one, some questions, some back and forth, some Q&A is good. So then I can get the context of what I'm healing, right? So I have a form, a form that's going to be sent out to people for you to write out the specific details. So then I am doing this properly, holistically healing for people. But I want you to kind of give me more so then I can give you a better answer. This person is in your life or not in your life?
Well, I've got people that are in my life and I have both. I have people in my life and people out of my life.
Okay, so the one in your life, you wanna you want to be able to do a practice, and is that person toxic or negative? Like, I need to know some more details.
Yeah, I would say that that person would not be very fond of the conversation that I would want to have with them. It's somebody that has abused me in the past, both
Right.
physically and mentally.
Okay, so okay, I understand. Now, if somebody wants to develop themselves while you're developing, then there's a possibility to have a civil conversation. But if the person cannot comprehend, their mindset is too far gone, then this practice will still help you live life properly, how to forgive and how to understand and how to just live compassionately without having to hold that burden or that sting won't be present, and the justification, the blame, and having the victim mindset won't be there. You will learn to understand that person. You will learn to forgive that person in mind and spirit, and that's the techniques that I do. Because I'll give you an example. Um, if you have a mother that you just kind of grew up as a toxic person and you guys just don't communicate well, okay, how can you go from that toxic mindset and arguing or trying to justify or explain or teach or try to explain where you're coming from to not having to do that, be completely healed, not having to do that, and just have an awareness and be in that person's life or have that person come around you and be completely accepting and understanding. That's why these techniques are in place. So the people in the world that have those issues, which I've dealt with, clients that have family members in the house and they go through this peace and this awakening, and then they will message and be like, actually our relationship's better. Everything's changed. I can't like they can't understand it, but I've been speaking it in advance. The quantum jump, the new realities. In the beginning, it's like confusing, but then when they go through the steps and the process, they do the methods correctly. Then they turn around and it's like, wow, yeah, it's the realities become into fruition. That's quantum jumping, right?
I think Rose had a question. Rose, did you want to ask something?
Yeah. Um, Well, my kind of like you guys gave clarification on the example based on your question, Ka, because my situation is familiar. Like all those things there, it's not open wound because I learned to forgive. I learned it to forgive, but I don't know nothing about what my inner child is holding inside. So for the things that I do remember that I know that it probably is still open, some of those people have saying sorry. Yes. But what I don't know is how do you know if what's happening on your present life have anything to do with something that probably is still not healed
Yeah.
or is still not or still open from your past. What similarities or what is it that help us see through more that your present is being affected by the things that you have gone through in the past.
Right, beautiful. The mixed emotions that you don't know how to articulate, you don't know how to fathom, you don't know how to understand. It's my inner child. I've forgiven it though now as an adult, but is it still in me as an inner child? And is that inner child still in me? Yes, it is. So you right now are we're living life, we're moving forward, but say something someone who comes in our life triggers us the same way. Some weird situation comes up, some atmosphere, some scenario, environment. Okay, you with me? And then a trigger comes up. That wouldn't come up in the here and now if you dealt with it the right way and you understood the communication with your inner child better. So then you can relate with yourself in the here and now better. And that's what I do. That's what you're going to experience in this program, in the 7 Truths to Enlightenment, because that's how it's created, that's how it's designed, that's what I've gone through, that's what I had to break free of, break through. um, I know you guys want answers and you want me to do it. That's why you have to come, so then you can experience it and you can finally get that clarity.
I'm going to push you a little bit more. So here's another scenario for you. And then actually, I have two, but this is the next one. I'm the parent. I've got a child. There are things that are going on between me and the child. I'm getting hurt. The child's getting hurt. Roles are being flip flopped back and forth. Do these techniques help in those situations? Because a parent doesn't want to hurt their child, and a parent will often take the hurt from a child. Is this going to help someone like that in that type of a scenario?
Yeah, absolutely. That's that's a whole separate conversation and course or program. That's a whole other coaching technique. But it has helped me significantly raise my children. It has helped me become the awareness and not the father. It has helped me become the child with my child. It has helped me teach, give clarity, um, understand, compassion, get down to my son's level, not feel like I'm the father, like how our parents used to. I don't know if you brought up old school style like I was, but I'm the father, you zip it, you listen, you do it, that's it. How do I take that same lesson, and did have some lessons, but without the feeling stupid? Like I don't know what I'm doing in life. I must be a kid, like they're saying. I don't know Jack. How do I take that and give the wisdom and the teaching and the knowledge and the inspiration to inspire a child while they're getting mental clarity and discipline? So absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
And the last one, and then I'll leave you. I'll let you go to the next one or let someone else ask a question. So this scenario is I'm at the workplace. I've got uh, a disapproving work situation, right? Got a manager or my boss just constantly is berating me and everyone else around them, let's say, and it's affecting me. Are these types of tools that you're going to be covering next week going to help in those kind of situations as well? Because, after all, it's my job, it's my income, it's my bread and butter. So do I have to keep taking things like that? I mean, will these tools help in that type of a situation?
Absolutely. So these are great questions that you're asking to shift, to create a shift. When I didn't know these techniques and exercises and I was working, I was stressed, frustrated, dealing with situations differently, not knowing how to do interviews and get things my way, get the job, how to present myself properly, or how to get the raises I wanted, or deal with encounters with other coworkers, and dealing with the manager or the boss, and just that whole paradigm people go through today. When I started these techniques, I can teach the power of persuasion, the power of positive manipulation, how to cause and affect the changes of my income, to the point where now I become the influencer, and people, my manager made me the leader of the department. When I was Before that job, I didn't know this stuff. I was failing. I didn't know how to talk. I didn't know how to deal with situations. I actually have one-on-one conversations with some clients on, I tell them, I talk to them on another phone while they're having an interview so they can get that job interview. I've coached people to shadow me, to come and follow me, to say exactly what I say word for word, to go from zero sales, zero deals, to 10 sales a day consistently every day till they don't need me anymore. So these techniques are going to help for sure, so you can get what you want and what you desire. Like I've been saying from the beginning, everything you want, you hold. Just how do you use it? And that's why I created these techniques and these teachings. So there's going to be coaching and teaching. I'm not just going to do that. I'm going to do the teachings, the guidance, the knowledge, all the facts, all the tangible stuff, all the practical stuff. Then we're going to go into the exercise. Then we're going to do it. And then we're going to talk about it after as well, as we go through the experience. And then we're going to do the follow up. And then we're going to, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it helps. It helps. It changes your life, it changes the direction of your life.
I think there's another question in the field.
Yeah, Israel's. So, I had been working on my energy lately. I have been meditating for more than 6 months, and I have two problems. One, I never have been able to quiet my mind. It's like I feel like I'm so busy and so full of pressure that I have never been successful at quiet my mind. It's always something coming from the future or from the past. It presents itself back and forward. And another thing is I'm shaking a lot. Like my vibration, I'm shaking a lot while I'm meditating, trying to um, go more out of this, like the physical realm between, or something spiritual, do not know. But then when something negative come around me, while I am, while um, I am um, aware, um, kind of like something so it makes me shakes as well, even while I'm, because it's trying my mind. I feel like my mind is trying to reject it, which is for me, I think that I'm doing the right thing no matter what. I'm keep on meditating. Is there something wrong with me? Is this a good sign or is it a bad sign?
Well, the first thing is you have the answer. You've told me exactly what happened. You've told me the answer. So I will get to the fine line to fix that for you, and I can do that. So let me just meditation for me in the beginning was like I had that mind, like everything coming, and I didn't know how to clear it, and I was just focused and busy mind, like you're saying. And when you're pushing so hard and you're shaking, that's not enlightenment. That's not more focus and high vibrational. That's you just forcing it away so then you can feel purposely try to push those and smile and be like, I'm great, I'm amazing. I know that that's what you do, and I know that's what people do. That is not the method. That's not the technique. First, I just want to say I apologize for you that you've been going through that, and there's a better way, and most definitely, you're gonna learn how to clear your mind so then you can actually sit in a meditation so you can actually have some mental clarity to focus on your visions and your goals better so they can articulate better without getting the distractions. So you need a lot of clearing, obviously, for that to start to happen, for things to get better, for things to attract. If you keep pushing yourself through life this way and forcing, you're gonna 10 years is gonna go by from now, and you're gonna have the same monkey mind. Even though you're gaining your success, you're doing whatever, but your inner peace, that thing you're trying to obtain, there's always going to be something missing. Just like a lot of successful people in the world, they get to a certain level of success, but why are they still tainted inside? Why are they unhappy? Why are they sitting there depressed? Why are they still chasing for more? Why can't they be peaceful? Why they can't have a clear mind? Everything you said to me just now is what you're going to get. And I know because I had such a crazy mind. Such a crazy mind.
Uh, to point out what you were saying, I'm actually very relaxed because I've been doing it for long. So it's like I want to. I mean, I want with all my heart with it. So when I'm doing meditations, I mostly am laying down without touching any part of my body, because some of them said like it's good like if you lay down, in my case. So I lay down and I completely go with the flow and allow to be totally relaxed. And when I get to the total realization at some point to get closer or to um, at listening to the meditation is when I shake. So it's not voluntarily, or it's involuntarily, and I am fully given to the moment. So I read something that it is a good sign, that
So
it is a.
you just told me that you feel something's wrong with you because you can't clear your mind.
Yeah, that's one. Meditation is in one, but when I wanted to be in a quiet, like I want to quiet my mind, if I try to quiet my mind, I can't.
So that's the problem. You're trying. You don't have to try to clear your mind. That's the first problem that we have is you're trying so hard. Why do you have to try hard to be peaceful? Why do you have to try hard to clear your mind? You don't have to. It becomes natural. You just don't know how. You haven't done the work, right? So even though you think you're peaceful laying down, anybody could lay down and become peaceful, but when you're actually trying to empty your mind and clear your mind, that shouldn't have to happen. So you can get to a place, and you can get to a place where these thoughts you have, right? You said it's thoughts, right? Inner thoughts, inner demons, feelings, emotions. What is it? What comes in your mind?
Like just things, things can be throughout the day, or it can be things from the past, and then I'm trying to fully kind of like feel myself internally completely in silence, but I can't.
Yeah.
Like things keep popping up.
I
It's like
understand.
I'm always on automation.
Yeah. So adding new techniques to old habits is not a sign a good sign. So you need to be going backwards. You need to be guided differently. Then the statement that someone told you that lying down and shaking, getting to those higher points, then it becomes a good sign. But if you're still getting thoughts and stuff coming in, that's the only thing. That's the only part that you got to release. So yeah, you're doing great, right? You can get to those feelings, you can start feeling it, but then the distraction mind comes like, oh, the success and the house and the chores and all this. You want to learn how to fully like release all that, let that go, disengage from what's around you. I used to be the type that I couldn't focus because I had so many thoughts. I couldn't get work done, kids running around, and then emotions, mixed up feelings with your partner and stuff. And then how do you now deal with that and live in harmony and peace and joy and clear your mind? How do you do that? Well, that's why I created this program. Everything's in there. You have to go through the experience. I'm not doing the exercise right now for you to understand. Like, oh, okay, yeah, it worked. Thank you. You have to come there and go through it.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
You're
well,
welcome. Very welcome.
what's next? So, I mean, we're going to be able to get through a lot of releasing. What else is in the seven truths?
I have many different breathing exercises. Anyone can breathe, anyone can say, okay, I could tell you right now, this is not a technique. Like, take 5 deep breaths in, breathe in your joy, your abundance, your peace, your love, your harmony, whatever you want and desire. Breathe out that inflammation, that disease, that anger, that inflammation, the pain, the suffering, all the things that you don't want, that don't serve you. Breathe it out. Breathe in your peace and joy. Breathe out that anger. Breathe out that anger, right? Breathe in 5 times, right? Basic, right? Now, that's a segue into continuously breathing, continuously being mindful, continuously having these connections and all the guidance that I'm going to be saying into your subconscious mind. And I teach you how to connect to your future self while you're in that, right? And that is my manifestation visualization, how to connect to your future self. And that's the one of the last. I have more, but I just wanted to choose the main ones, and these are the main ones. But this exercise is actually ties it all together, because you go from the mirror talk, the self-reflection, the fraudulence, to the self-love and stuff like that. Then you come into the releasing the thoughts, releasing the emotions, so you can empty your mind, so you can meditate properly. You can actually pay attention to this when I do this. Then it ties into the inner, and then you do the inner child, connect to that. And then you get into this. And then I teach you how to come back to the present moment. And then I teach you how to connect to your future self. It's all through it's a guided, right, thing. So that's what's next.
So, with those types of things, is that going to help us manifest the life that we want? And when I say manifest the life that we want, I want you to delve just a little deeper. I'm not talking about being able to handle the situations that we get into and being able to clean us up, you know, our internal inner being, our soul. But I mean, what will these manifestations help us to achieve? Can you give me something a little more specific?
Absolutely. I love the challenges. I love more specific. I love people not getting the clarity the first time, second time, 10th time, 20th time. I'm here for you, right? I got your back. And it's going to cover it in the next slide when you get some testimonials, but let me break it down. You're not going to be able to just all of a sudden manifest just because you did an exercise, right? So if you're doing everything that you're being taught, and you're applying it all and making it a harmonious ritual, you're making it your own methods, you're really doing this for yourself, right? Then when you start doing this exercise and start connecting, understanding, then the understanding and the releasing the thoughts and the emotions and understanding your higher self, the awareness from the ego mind, all of it becomes mind body spirit connection. That's what we're creating, a true harmonious mind body spirit connection. Then when you have that and you live day-to-day life and you know how to operate and maneuver towards life and around life and with people and energies and family and spouses and toxicity and pain and stuff, and you maintain this, all of this, and you keep doing it, you keep doing it, then as you take my practices and I teach you, and then we do the signals and I teach you what is it exactly you want to manifest, and I give you the technique and I give you the method, and you book and schedule that with me and I guide that for you, and you do that on your own and you keep maintaining this with that belief and letting it go, then you're going to turn around and it's going to come into your life. And that's how manifestations happen. You have to trust, you have to know, you have to believe, but it's with doing all of this. Anyone who has manifested anything before, go talk to them. Talk to Bob Proctor, talk to Tony Robbins, talk to the Rhonda Byrne from The Secret, Vishen Lakhiani, ask Robin Sharma, ask anybody, what do they do consistently? What do you do consistently? They're not going to just say, oh, I'm a powerful manifester, I know the technique and it just but they've created this. They've created this constantness. So when you get the tools and the tips and the tricks and the techniques and you're living it on a day-to-day life, 100% absolutely, it's gonna help you start to manifest a life that you never thought you can have, but you have to believe you deserve it, and you are that person that deserves it. Are you that person that deserves a newer home than where you live right now? Are you the person that deserves something that you want, but you just keep doing it in your head and saying, no, it's okay, and you're being modest? You need to understand what you deserve and your birthright. Let's just say you're coming from another country and you need your green card and it's been so hard, or you need a visa and it's been so hard. And you're living this cycle pattern over and over and over and over again. Well, you know what? Through these practices, I helped someone manifest it faster and better and clear, with a clear conscience, not with a debate and an argument and stress and prolonging and it's not coming. So yeah, I mean, everyone has to live it and do it. You can't turn around after messing up in a week's time and going through bad failed emotions and go, like say you go through a breakup or something and you're not regulating yourself, you're not doing all the practices you're getting taught, and you go backwards, and then you turn around and you have the audacity to blame, and then you start living that victim mindset, and then you start losing the belief. That's going to hinder your own growth. It's nobody's fault except for yours.
Okay, thank you. Malcolm, I want to, you're just about done for this evening. And before you, before we hear from some of your past clients, um, I want to personally thank you for this week. Every day you've given out all of us a very big message. And the sacrifices that you gave for this week, I happen to know what they are. And I really do appreciate it. And I'm sure people that have been with us for the whole week also appreciate it. I mean, it's one thing to be told the story that you've been sharing with us about dying and going to the other side and coming back, and telling us that we need to take care of ourselves and take care of our souls because of the circumstances, the consequences if we don't. It's totally something different to have someone share with us what you have been sharing with us, to help us see it, feel it, get in touch with it, and personally from me to you. I really truly do appreciate it. And I know our listening office, audience does too. So if you don't
I,
mind, I'm going to say goodnight to you. And I'd like to hear from some of your past clients.
absolutely.
Thank you, Malcolm.
You're very welcome. I appreciate you and for the hard work that everyone and you have been doing for yourself and for your personal growth and your development and your mind and your body and your spirit. So thank yourself. Start thanking yourself, but you're very welcome, and it's an honor, it's a blessing. And everybody that's watching on LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, I appreciate you. Welcome to Guided Intelligence. This is just the beginning, and have a blessed day. And hope you can catch up on some of the past content that you missed and catch up on the boot camp that you missed and do some of the exercises that are free up on my channel. And look forward to joining this program. So have a blessed day.
You too.
I want to say a huge thank you to Malcolm. Thank you so much, Malcolm, because he brought more clarity in my life. He brought more calmness in my life.
He has helped me to recognize fear and resentment that was holding me back. He's given me really great tools that I can use every single day to keep myself on track. And he has really helped me to unlock some of the mysteries of money and really grow my business at the same time.
So I reached out to Malcolm. He had a profile that was really intriguing to me, so I asked him. We got together over a conference call, and I shared my skepticism with him because I had so many bad experiences with counselors and coaches and whatnot. So he was very, he understood because he's also had those similar experiences that I did, and he shared with me that he would be very different in his approach, and he lived up to that, and I've never looked back since then.
So I've been a person, like I know most of you are looking for ways to improve our mindset while we as entrepreneurs or as someone trying to get a whole of life and a meaning of life and improve ourselves. So ever since I've been like with Malcolm on his calls, I was able to identify all these little details that I actually wanted to know more information on, and stuff that has been going on but we can't explain it. He actually was able to explain it as easy as possible, and I am like blown away by that type of information.
Before I first met Malcolm, I was in that stage where I was overworked. I was overwhelmed with work, parenting, family, and I was going in that mental state where I was getting a lot of negative feelings about myself, about my situation, about my family, about everything. And then it was like a spiral. It was going on, and I didn't know how to come out of it. So I was getting more depressed every day. But when I had that first call with Malcolm, he gave me so many powerful tools and techniques that I was able to use to regulate my emotion, that I was able to use to come out of that spiral, that negative feeling spiral.
I'm so grateful. So if you guys have any interest in checking out and improving your mindset, I would definitely recommend Guided Intelligence.
Once again, thank you so much, Malcolm, for everything you've done for me, all the tools, all the advice you have given me that has made my life more joyful. Thank you so much.
So he is an absolutely invaluable resource if you want to feel more joyful, more peaceful, and get all those things that you've wanted in life that for some reason may have just eluded you. So if you're looking for someone to help you with all of those things, Malcolm is definitely your guy.
I told everybody at the beginning that there was going to be a special here, and it's a very big special. And there's actually way more to this than what meets the eye. So, first, I want to talk about what you're actually going to be going through with the seven truths. There's 90 minutes of releasing blockages. There's 90 minutes of inner child release techniques. There's 90 minutes of connecting to your future self. There's 90 minutes of manifestations and meditations. These are the various techniques that Malcolm is going to be able to teach us that we're going to be able to use on a day-to-day basis. That alone is a huge thing. But Malcolm and I weren't done yet because I wanted more, more, more. So he started throwing in all these bonuses. I still said, I want more, more, more. So he gave me designing and writing affirmations, an accountability calendar, quote cards, golden nuggets, a personal growth affirmation book, instructional documents for each exercise, and the audio instructions. But see, that's not just it either. He's also started a new guided intelligence center. And this center, when you're invited to join, you're going to be getting monthly newsletters. You're going to be caught up and know what the recent events are that Malcolm will be attending and performing for people. You'll be able to talk to other people that are going through the same process as you are so that you can grow as a group and with a group. You don't have to be alone anymore. Not only that, but if you've been with us for this entire week, he's also going to provide the materials, both the PDF files and the audio files from this week. You'll be able to hear Malcolm in his own voice walk you through the mirror talk exercise. You'll be able to read what you should be doing in the mirror talk exercise and a whole lot of other things as well. Now, this has a huge value. As you can see, there's individual prices here ranging from $250 down to $1,400. I mean, the total over in this package here is $1,529. That doesn't include the things from this week, and that doesn't include the things that will be coming up to you either. But we wanted to do something special for you because we care, and guided intelligence is here for you. So we have something that's a little special that we're going to do for you besides the $1,529. You can see right there, we have a special price of $397, but for this week, for everybody that's attended, we're going to knock another $100 off of that to $297. Now, let me explain something about $297 for a second here. That might sound like a lot, but to sit down with just 90 minutes one-on-one with Malcolm would cost more than $297, depending on what you wanted to talk to him about. He is giving everyone a fantastic deal here. This is more than just value. This is him offering the opportunity of a lifetime for all of us who want to heal our inner being and live a wonderful life, things that we can't even comprehend. I know I would want it. Now there's a catch on the 297 because he and I kind of talked about it for a while, and he can't do that all the time. So for $297, you've got until Sunday, this Sunday, until midnight. If you sign up and register for the 7 Truths, you'll get it for $297. You got to do it before Sunday at midnight. Now, if you can't do that, we understand. And instead of going back down to the $1,529 price, if you were to purchase these separately, we're still going to offer it for $397. But I'm encouraging everybody that's listening to this, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook, wherever you are, take the $297 value. You'll be glad that you did. I'm Kyle Griffiths. I appreciated my time with Malcolm this week. I appreciate every single one of you. I wish you peace. I wish you happiness. And I want you to take care and enjoy your life. Thank you and good night.